What's good, y'all? It's your boy Didda Joe, man. You already know we tuned in live at homegrownradio.net. What's good? Let's get it 93.
In the house with us right now.
Right
we got
now.
none other than Didda Joe, man. Hey, man, he took you away from us last week. It was
Yes.
ruining you and all
It
that
was-
shit.
And it was so fucking dope. We had a really good time last week.
Yo,
I
man,
can't even-
1993 is available right now, man.
Yes, go get that.
Go support
It's real
that.
hot.
Please do.
Man, now for the folks that aren't familiar with Didda Joe, man, go on and let them know where you hail from, you know, how you got the name and the project 1993, how we kicked everything off, bro.
All right. Well, I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
Born and raised East Side, Naptown was good. And pretty much, man, Didda Joe comes from a good old friend of mine. Now, the story behind that is, as embarrassing as it is to tell, my name is D'Anthony, and people always call me DJ for short. So people wanted to know what DJ stood for eventually. And before I could answer, a buddy of mine kind of just blurted out Didda Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of just looking at him like, Didda Joe?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. So he is, as corny as it sounds, he just comes out and says, nah, Didda Joe mama. Yeah. So he pulls one of those on me. And just from there, it was like, I don't know where people just started calling me that around the, middle school hallways. And then.
Yo, so it
on
started off as a joke like that.
It
Like,
really was just a joke, just in the art
it's
class.
like one of those, like, hey, yo, D tried to get at you. D who? D's nuts.
Right,
like, something like that.
right.
So
Yeah, exactly.
Didda Joe mama came
Didda
at
Joe
Didda
mama. That's
exactly.
funny.
1993, man. I mean, tell the people the reason why that name.
Oh, man. Well, first and foremost, 1993 is, obviously, as some people can guess easily, is my birth date, birth year. And really kind of how my story goes is my mom being a singer, my dad being a musician. They kind of came together and decided that they wanted to name their son after something they felt would be good for a musician. So after that whole thing went about and I was born, I kind of dropped out of college one day and I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to come back home and chase my dreams. Got the blessing from my dad. And a few months later, I'm in LA and just going on into the journey of being out here trying to chase the dream and being an upcoming artist and everything. I just wanted to find my own way to really just kind of document that.
Yeah.
And so really 1993 just came from that whole thought. And it was real cool because I actually had this conversation that sparked it where my mom kind of explained that story of how I was born. And it was just kind of funny in our own way that, me being here at 21 and doing all the things I was doing at that time, was happening. And just thus far, the whole journey itself has been just something crazy to see come together, just all the pieces falling into place, the growth coming from behind all of that. And it's cool because just, again, like documenting all that through the music, subconsciously I came to, really put together every piece of the, few years I've been out here. And in my own R&B way, now I finally get to share that with the world. So I hope you guys will stay on this journey with me from here on out and enjoy the beginning of this story of mine. Yes. Of course.
So when was your introduction in terms of like, okay, the spotlight, so to speak? Okay, I want to become an artist,
Actually, I think when I was 3 years old, I remember my mom, again, would tell me, like, as my dad had his band rehearsals, he would do it at our house, and his musicians would just leave their instruments in the basement of ours. So really, it was all these times that she would just notice me just sneaking out of my room and just sneaking downstairs, and she would hear, like, little drum taps going on. So from there, she just figured, oh, okay, yeah, we got a musician on our hands. So just throughout the years, I tried all these different things. I tried the sports, and I tried one time break dancing, which really didn't work
I was
out.
like, nah, that's not my thing.
Nah,
I'm just gonna stick to these drums or something like that.
Man, it was really just like, okay, I know I can do this though. And from there, I just started picking up so much that it was like, okay, you know what? I really think I want to be a rock star. Matter of fact,
That's
I'll just say
dope.
it that way. I want to be a rock star. So that's how I started growing out the dreads.
Yeah.
Learning all these different instruments afterwards that I kept hearing. Because a real big influence of mine is Prince.
Gotcha.
So after hearing people like that doing what they could do, that really sparked like all these different things and curiosities out of me. So
Yeah.
from there, I was just like,
So
this is what I'm gonna do.
What instruments do you play? Okay.
But I do play guitar mainly. My first love. My bass guitar, kind of got that from my dad. So I play drums, of course, like I said. And then I play keyboards and stuff like that. I played violin for some time. And so from there, I'm just going to keep going with it, honestly. So ain't no telling what's next. I want to play saxophone, though.
You said the bass guitar is your love?
No, just the regular, like
The regular
you have
guitar,
lead
okay.
guitar and then
Gotcha,
you have
gotcha.
like bass guitar.
And what brought you over here to the West?
Man, a couple of things. Really, a friend of mine who I was working with in Florida at the time was kind of saying, like, you know what, I think we're about to go out here to start doing some stuff with our filming, and I think you should really try to come with us. And it was almost like he wouldn't let me say no. However, I didn't, really pursue anything with him, obviously. And so from there, I just went back home, got, some bread together, and then just one day I get a call from a friend of mine who said, hey, like, I got some opportunity for you out here. I think you should fly out and come check it out. Came out, started, kind of building around a few people, left, and I was like, you know what, I think I can make it out there. So
As we live in a time now, especially being an artist, living in the world of social media,
Right.
it's like, yo, I got to get something out right now. I got to put these EPs together. I got to throw this out there. I got to pull full projects, whatever the case may be, because you feel like you're in a race with other artists and you're
Right.
comparing yourself. What held you back from saying, you know what, I'm not going to take that approach. Let me work with the timing.
Man, it was really just like, I see this person doing their thing, I see that person doing their thing, and it was really just like, just waiting for my turn, if anything. I feel like, I could have easily put something out like last year and put out the body of work that you guys have now, and it still may have done the same thing, still may have not. It still may had, to compete a different way with like the Tory Lanes and Bryson Tillers and all. And I'm like, no, that's not necessary. There's all this competition going on when it's like anybody who can really bring something different to the table is always going to find their way to shine. And there's room for all of us. Let's all eat.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure that, with that competition being like the real big mindset and something I still respect it in hip hop, nevertheless, but still it doesn't have to be that.
Yeah.
There's room for everybody if you make it, but still it's just like letting a person go at a time instead of trying to like oversaturate all this stuff and bring all these new things to people's minds. Let them get a taste for one or the other, and then we can just build from there.
Yeah. Now, if you had to break down your style in 3 words, how would you do that for somebody that's never heard your music? You got three words to describe Didda Joe.
Man, really, I would just call it Alternative&B.
Alternative&B.
Alternative&B. Because I grew up a lot like learning and listening to rock music, but I still always had that same love for R&B. So I like to think of my own style as kind of Alternative&B. Just everything that's in between, but still just keeping something of rock going and still keeping like the rhythm and blues a part of that whole ingredient, that whole recipe of things. So I'm gonna call it that, Alternative&B.
You got 3 words. Break down POP for the people.
Oh man. So mind you guys saw the whole meme, yes, the whole POP, hold it down.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll admit that it kind of derives from that, but I kind of said like, you know what, this thing is catchy, but I kind of hear it a different way. And honestly, I feel like we're at this point where women just, throw their pussy around like it's nothing, and y'all don't really understand the whole power that y'all have, just in that. So I figured, like, you know what, let me see who's really still out there holding it down for the real ones, and let me see who really understands, like, there's more power than comes to the eye when it comes to a woman's pussy. So power of pussy.